How we doing, guys? Welcome to the preview and the predicted lineup. Bournemouth against Arsenal later this afternoon, 3 p.m. kickoff. It's very unusual that you get those Saturday 3 p.m. kickoffs, but this one's going to be an interesting game, and I think that now we're starting to see how difficult it actually is to juggle Champions League, Premier League, and you're starting to ask questions yourself. Injuries, we've got so many at the moment. And yeah, this is part and parcel of what we all wanted, you know, being back in the Champions League and, you know, having these kind of selection headaches. And like I said, we've got injuries at the moment, a lot of injuries, and that has not helped big time. So it's kind of limited what Mikel Arteta can do in terms of rotation. And then, yeah, it's a difficult one. And, you know, Bournemouth, you remember back to last season, we went there very early on in the season. One of the away games where we got to wear the beautiful pink kit. Sun was shining, everything was beautiful. And what a time that was. But what kit will they wear for this game, actually? That's got me thinking now I was mentioning kits. Because obviously Bournemouth will wear red and black. And then obviously our away kit is that tennis ball monstrosity, yellow and black. So I'm presuming that won't be used. And then our third kit is a dark green. I'm presuming it will probably be that one. It would have to be that one, surely. But yeah, look, listen, it's one of those where we're going to have to go there, get the job done, get the 3 points. We're still unbeaten in all competition this season. But Manchester City winning every single Premier League game means that even if you draw a game, it feels like 2 points dropped. And you think back to last week when we played Spurs, it's 2 points dropped because Man City keep winning. Now, Man City do have a run of games where things might start to get a little bit difficult, where you could say that things have been quite favourable at the start of the season. But we just got to go about our business, do our job. And what will be at the end of the day. Team selection, like I said, is going to be very, very interesting. So with that said, let's go and get into the predicted lineup. And this is what I think Mikel Arteta may well do. In goal, David Raya. I think that he's made it very clear. He's his number one. I think Aaron Ramsdale in midweek against Brentford was absolutely superb. It'd be one of his former clubs as well, wouldn't it? But yeah, David Raya for me will go in goal. In the defence, this is where there could well be some changes. And I look at it and I think to myself, yeah, could there be some changes? Could things be a little bit different? There's some question marks over William Saliba because of an injury. Now, I know he has travelled with the squad and I do actually think he will play. I don't think it's as bad as maybe some of the others, shall we say. On the right-hand side, Ben White. I don't think that's going to change. I think he's going to keep him there. I know he played the other night, but he does seem like one of these players that can continue playing. So yeah, I was quite torn between maybe playing Tomiyasu, who I thought was man of the match against Brentford. He was absolutely superb. And there could be questions about him coming into the centre-back position, which is kind of where he predominantly played. But yeah, I'm going to go with Ben White as that right-back option for this one. In the centre of defence, Gabriel and William Saliba. I'm not going to change it. I don't think it's going to be changed. And I do think that that's what Mikel Arteta will go with. He will look to go with the strongest back line. And then everywhere else will start to have, you know, the little bits of changes here, there and everywhere. So for me, yeah, that's what I will go with. Left back, Zinchenko. Came off the bench against Brentford, you know, so effectively got quite a bit of a rest. And I don't think we've got many other options at the moment there. So You could, again, argue tomiyasu coming across that side. It's amazing how versatile he is. But I just feel for this, Zinchenko will start the game. Moving into the midfield. Oh, yeah, again, dilemmas. Question marks over Declan Rice. Came off against Spurs. Now, he has travelled with the Arsenal squad. But given the fact that we are playing in the Champions League on Tuesday against Lens in France, I just don't think Declan Rice may start this game. And I'd go with Jorginho. I know we made that mistake against Spurs. It is what it is at the end of the day. He was good in midweek. And I just think that Rice on the bench in case, and have him ready for Tuesday. And then Jorginho start this one. Next up, this is where there will be a big question mark, because Bukayo Saka, he has travelled with the squad. Now, he has got this consecutive run of games that he's been playing for Arsenal, and I believe it's like 80 something now, 83 or 84, something like that. It's the most in history of Arsenal. It's ridiculous how many games he started, but I just feel if he's travelled, Mikel Arteta's going to start him. I would like to see him on the bench and maybe have a bit of a break, but I just think there's something about him and Mikel Arteta starting him. I really do. And I just think that the same is going to apply again, and Mikel Arteta will start Bukayo Saka. Next up, we have Martin Odegaard. It's a straightforward one for me. He's the captain of the side and he starts. Next up, do you have Vieira? I don't know. I don't know if he's actually travelled, and he's another one that's had a bit of a knock. You've got Kai Havertz, and I'll tell you something, Kai Havertz was not as bad as some people will make out against Brentford, but when I watch him, he looks very lost at the moment. Very, very down in the dumps. Very, like, it's really starting to affect him. And I think it was affecting him at Chelsea, and it's kind of a continuation, and they're so. But, yeah, given the problems and everything else, I'm going to have to put Kai Havertz in there, in that role. On the left-hand side, no Trossard, Martinelli, etc. I'm not going with this Gabriel Jesus out on that side and Eddie Nketiah up front or anything else. None of that rubbish again. I'm going to have Reece Nelson on that left-hand side. Scored against Brentford. Overall, decent enough performance. And yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. And whilst I quickly remember this, I know some people watching this video will say, what about Emil Smith-Rowe, where the Kai Havertz role is? I think that what you see with Emil Smith-Rowe is that he's nowhere near up to match fitness yet. I don't know whether he's got 50, 60 minutes in his legs. He started very, very well against Brentford and then tired very, very quickly. So that would be my biggest concern. What I would say is that he needs to get some minutes now if he's really back. But I would like to say that those would be from the bench, not 5 minutes here or there. You know, after an hour of the game gone, bring him on, give him a good 30, 40 minutes, whatever the injury time is as well. And then he can really start to get those minutes in his legs. But I just don't feel at the moment he's ready to start a game. So that's my thought process behind that. Up front, as the striker, Gabriel Jesus, Eddie Nketiah started and played, the game in midweek. He also managed to play all the game against Spurs, and I don't know how. But for me, he does not start this game in any way, shape or form, and it's Gabriel Jesus all day long. And it's as simple as that, really. I think that's a very strong lineup. I think that's enough to get the job done at Bournemouth. Yeah, we need to get those 3 points. You're looking at Bournemouth, they're fourth from bottom in the league. They haven't even won this season. That's how mad it actually is. There's 4 sides, I'm looking at it now, that actually haven't won this season. 6 games and they've got 3 draws and 3 defeats. They've only scored 5 goals and they've conceded 11. And they're on a -6 goal difference. Listen, we need to go and take care of, business. It's as simple as that. We need to go and get the 3 points. I think the lineup that I've gone with is very, very strong in terms of, you know, the opposition with all due respect, and it should be able to go and get the 3 points. So it's as simple as that. As usual, let me know in the comment section what you think. Do you agree or disagree? If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.